is the strangest thing you've seen Kate do?
The strangest thing. All these things are from when she was very young, and this is a good one. She used to love to tunnel. I think it was her early Minecraft days. she would go to the kitchen and she would pull open the cabinet, and she would just like a badger start pulling out pots and pans.
Crash,
and
clang,
go in a little farther and pull out a little bit more. And pretty soon it was just you could see the toes sticking out, and then working her way into more pots and pans rattling out. And she'd kick open the door, and she had like a little lid in her mouth with the tin part sticking up, or the screw sticking up, and so you're biting on it, it's going thunk, 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 and you're blinking as you're doing it. And it was just like a one-man band, all this noise going on in there, and then that was the grand finale.
Oh my god. There's actually, I think there's video evidence of those pots and pans days.
I mean, there's various footage that we had. Back then, though, it was nothing like even the analog cameras. I mean, we had
it was the big cassettes back in the day, straight on the big ones.
Big VHS things on the shoulder, and we didn't have one. We had to borrow one from a friend.
I bet you kids don't even know what we just said.
Yeah.
What song will you pick for the father-daughter dance on her wedding night?
I haven't had a chance to think about that.
You know what's funny?
What?
We don't know that, but we know what we want played at each other's funerals.
That's true.
We've had that discussion. What do you want to have played at your funeral?
For me, I thought it would be Louis Armstrong. It's a what's the name?
Wonderful
It's a
World.
It's a Wonderful World. That's right. Yeah. I'm sure most everybody's familiar with it anyhow, but it's a recognition that all people are beautiful and that there's beauty in the world, and it's great to be alive. And so, although it's a strange thing to have at a funeral, it's like the life lesson that I have. The one big important thing is that you should enjoy life. You should be kind to other people, and generally it gets returned to you. And if for no other reason, it makes your life better. We are very social creatures, so when we share like that, it just makes life so much better. And of course yours.
Mine,
Pocahontas, All the Colors of the Wind, wasn't it?
The Wind, yeah. That is still my choice. I've thought recently if it would be worth changing it, but it's the same concept. Be nice to each other, the world is beautiful, enjoy it, and don't get caught up in the bad stuff and the stuff that doesn't really matter. And
to answer the question, I'm not sure it's an exact fit, but one song that I always liked is Phil Collins' "You Are So Beautiful." It's more of like your two's song, but you've always been that way to me. You are beautiful as a soul, you know, a beautiful person.
Not as a face.
Package deal.
How adorable was Kate as a baby, and what did you think when you first saw her?
She was, of course, adorable, and
I was going to say wrinkly and covered in mucus, but
not so much.
Really?
Not so much, because your mom had a difficult pregnancy.
That's right.
And so when they did hand you to me, you were precious. You were very small, and it was like, oh my gosh, and they handed you to me, and you were trying to use your eyes for the first time. You're like, oh, and you're looking around like, what are these? What is all this? You know? And at that point, it was all just a blur, but it was just amazing seeing you at that point already trying to learn how to do things. And then the next great thing that took place is handed your mom, and your mom got to see you, and then they said, okay, we need to take you through and put you under the heat lamp and get you warmed up. And
like a lizard.
Yeah, a bit. And so when they put you in there, they said, well, you were a little jaundiced, which I was when I was born too, and so was my brother. And so he wanted to take the blanket off of you so you could get the full effects from the heat lamp. And you had already figured out how to use your hands, and you grabbed that blanket. And you wanted that secure womb feeling.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, can't do that. And you were just like,
I know what I want better than you. What went through your mind when you had a child in your hands? Probably just, I mean, my first thought, honestly, would be, oh God, I'm going to drop it. Yeah.
My first thought, it was, look at those eyes.
No, they're so squinty and Asian.
You are so mean.
Yeah. What are some things Kate would do for fun when she was little? Draw on myself.
No. One of the things you did for fun was you would whistle. You whistle to yourself.
It's because you taught me how to whistle.
You practiced and practiced.
Because you could do it and I couldn't.
I mean, my aunt, she used to stick her fingers in her mouth and do the shrill thing. I can't do that.
I can't. I've never been able to do that.
I managed to get drool all the way down my arms, but I can't make a sound. And so the thing was, I'd whistled around the house, and then you saw this, and so you were trying to figure out how's he doing, and so I sat with you and we practiced a little bit, and then you would just keep practicing on your own. And so at that time we had a little cottage in England with a beautiful backyard and a beautiful rose garden back there and a little swing set we got for you. And so I came home from work one day and your mom's like, come here. And I came with her and went to the kitchen, and I leaned around the corner, and you were in the swings and you were just whistling to yourself. You finally learned how to whistle, and you were just out there in the sunshine, in the back, your favorite place, the back garden, just swinging and whistling and experimenting with it.
Oh my gosh, it's still my favorite place, is the back garden. How do you feel about her wanting to be in Playboy?
Well, I think that is amazing. I can't wait for you to interview these people that are going to come in Playboy and ask them all these questions about what led them up to this point in their life that they're now budding stars. Sorry about that.
What would you actually do if I'd probably be very similar to the boobs video situation, because when I put that out, I was like, Daddy.
Well, I don't buy Playboy.
I just told him not to watch the boobs video, basically. He hasn't yet.
I am a firm believer. I'm a born-again Christian. So some people have asked, like, why does your dad seem odd or strange or something?
I've never asked.
I've seen it. I've seen people say, there's something odd about your dad. And I'm a born-again Christian, so I have beliefs that most people don't really associate with that. I tend to be kind of open-minded about things, and my belief is that everyone has a right to experience life in their own way, and whatever goes on between you and your beliefs or non-beliefs and faith is between you. I don't push it on anybody. It worked for me, it works for millions of others, but everybody's is here to experience life for themselves. So I don't believe in judging people, and I refer to that part in the Bible that says, judge not lest you be judged. So I encourage you to enjoy life in your own way. Just think things through so that it's not a mistake. I've seen other people who have done this or other things, and have later said, had I thought it through perhaps more, I would have chosen a different path. So just think things through and make sure it's the right choice for you before you do it. But it's ultimately your choice.
Do I not have the best dad on the planet? All right, I'll double think Playboy. How many grandchildren do you want from Kate?
You get to keep them all. I'm done. I see where this is going. It's... This is one of those awkward drinking moments.
Oh God.
I'll get a towel.
Thanks. Nothing happened. My kid knocked it over.
This will be in the bloopers reel.
Oh, that's going straight in the main video.
Here's a towel. Wipe it up.
Thank you. I didn't used to be clumsy.
Didn't used to be.
Daddy, do you drop things?
I used to drop things a lot when I was younger, and not so much anymore, just because I'm
Did you drop me?
I never dropped you, but I saw you dropped once. On your head.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't want to point fingers at anybody who could have been a close pet.
Is that why I walk funny?
I don't know.
Did Kate have to follow any rules while dating?
That was your mom, and your mom seemed to do quite a good job about establishing ground rules. And by the time that you'd started dating, it was kind of, you already kind of worked it out yourself. So
because I waited until I was like 30 to start dating.
I really wasn't there at the time. I was stationed back in the States, but by then, and Kathleen was a teenager, so that was really your mom. And I've often thought I had no complaints. Your mom was very good about those things and very sensible.
She's a hella matriarch. She wasn't going to let anyone mess around.
Very protective.
Yeah. Do you remember how many times Kate has dyed her hair?
No idea. I mean, I can't count them. I mean, there's been many times where like many young ladies, you experiment and try different things, and I just don't know.
Do we actually know what my natural hair color is anymore?
Isn't that it?
Why does Kate look almost nothing like you?
Well, we kind of covered this already.
We totally did.
Yeah. Well, I'm half Athabascan Indian on my mother's side, and the rest was my father's Scotch, Irish, and Dutch. So I've got black hair, but there's little bits of red in there too, and it shows up in the sunshine. It used to really bother me because people would point it out, it's like, she's got red hair mixed up in there. And as we said before, that you're kind of a mix of your mom and I, but more so on your mom's side. Complexion, hair color, it really makes a huge difference because we're contrasting.
If I had dark hair, we'd probably look
a lot, because people would make the connection a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I have a very high reflection of my ethnicity, and you have a slight reflection.
Lower medium.
Yeah. Yeah, you're much more blended. So, and I've often found that different cultures coming together, the children are usually just a beautiful mix of both.
Aww. See, when it comes to you and me, I'd say we have the same eyes. I have my mum's ears. I have mum's nose. I have your mouth.
Yeah. Because
I wasn't sure for a while, because I was like, I don't think either of my parents have really full lips, but that's because you always had a mustache. So I never knew.
Yeah, I always disguise it. It's like I wear this thing
Full
I
luscious lips.
I consider I have a weak chin, so I put on the facial hair and have a special relationship. As soon as I got out of the military, this came on. It hasn't come off since.
And we have the same teeth.
That's right.
Then,
I was waiting for it.
did Kate have a cute way of saying words when she was a kid? For example, I used to say slope instead of soap.
I have a hard time remembering things more than like 10, 15 years ago. I remember some of the best
I don't remember
stories.
Things that happened yesterday, Daddy. Did I say anything funny? Or mispronounce something and not be able to say something?
Well, no more than other kids. I mean, you would flip letters around sometime or numbers around sometime. So I remember at one time, and you were quite young at this point, but at one point we'd bought a lottery ticket in Britain because they had them, you know, and we let you read them off, and you read them off, and we were watching TV. I was like, what? We got like 4 out of 5 right? Well, that's a lot of money. So we proudly went down to the counter, slapped it up there, and the gal went, here's your $10 or £10, you know. I was like, what? And I looked at it, she's like, you got like, I think it was 3 out of 5 right. And I was like, that can't be right. And you had flipped one of the numbers.
Oh,
and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh my
But,
goodness.
I mean, you were just in school, so just learning the
What have I done?
Yeah. But you were still young, and of course you don't do that anymore. But, and as far as like saying funny things, your mom's always been proud that she taught you to speak proper English.
Very strictly.
Yeah, and I seem to recall that you would speak this way, and it was something she was showing me, and then you topped it off by saying "yup," which was all me.
Oh no! Oh, that's it. That's all the
Wow, you did
questions. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the entire world about me? Anything, you know, you can use to blackmail me later? Or...
I think we've only just scratched the surface. She's a bit like an iceberg. I mean, most of the adventures.
Most of my mass is below the surface.
Well, that's not the end. It's just a great beginning.
The end is never the end. It's never the end. I haven't made you play that yet. I should probably tell you what.
It is.
Yeah.
Is this something to do with Pocahontas?
No.
No. The end is never the end. What is it? Is this a video game? A video game? Well, I might be interested in that.
It's the best dad ever, right? Bye.
Thank you for the questions.
Yay.
So I was heading towards the bedroom and something was wrong. I walked in there and I had left the little Vaseline thing too close to the crib, and you'd gotten a hold of it, and that's why you were quiet, because you were covered in it, and it was all like on your face and your eyes, and you're blinking like this, trying to look through the Vaseline. It was smeared all over the walls, all over the sheets, and your mom looked at you and said, have fun.